Let's go to my friend Mike Pence, who is the #3 House Republican leader. And Mike Pence, first of all, thank you so much. It's great to see you. You spoke Friday night at David Koch's American for Prosperity. 2,000 strong showed up. I spoke Saturday afternoon. This is the group, God bless them, that helped organize the town halls and the tea parties. And they're a bunch of unhappy campers. First up, Mike, what did you tell them in your speech?
Well, I told them that the American people know we can't borrow and spend and bail our way back to a growing economy. You know, the American people know what works and what doesn't, and they know that precisely the prescription you just described of cutting taxes on small business owners, working families, and family farms across the board right now is the time-honored way to get this economy moving again. I mean, you know, the reality is this administration has really lost focus on what is really most important to the American people right now. I saw it Friday night at the Americans for Prosperity rally. You saw it there Saturday. The American people want us to focus, like Bill Clinton used to say, like a laser beam on the kind of policies that have always and will always create growth and opportunity for American families, and leave aside all these plans for energy taxes and government mandates and new taxes on health care. We can have those debates down the road, but let's put Americans back to work.
Let me ask you this. I'm no fan of big spending and borrowing. I am no fan. But I have to tell you, if Team Obama slashed business tax rates on large and small companies, not just the big guys, but the small guys too, if they suspended the suspension of the Bush tax cuts, you know what? In the short run, it would increase the budget deficit, but I would support it because of the supply-side incentive effects on economic growth. Mike Pence, would you?
Well, let me just say, I've always wrestled with the way Washington talks about what tax cuts cost the federal government. I mean, you know, I know those estimates would show the deficit would grow because Washington seems to do all of its budgeting based on the idea that the federal government owns the money, and when it doesn't get all the money it was planning on getting, that costs the government. You know, history teaches what Art Laffer wrote on that napkin years ago, what you've preached from coast to coast, is that the only way we can ever get back to a balanced federal budget is through growth. And we have to put growth first and foremost over every other issue that the country's facing today.
I was concerned that we might disagree. I saw some of the accounts of your speech. Look, you are a popular, famous guy. You may be the next president for all I know, and God bless. What the heck? But I was worried. I mean, to me, whatever the Congressional Budget Office scores supply-side tax cuts, at the end of the day, the stronger economic growth produces lots of revenues, and it reduces the demand for all this phony government spending.
Right. Well, it's not to get too deep in the weeds, but it's what you as an economist understand is it's the static analysis they use here. It is as though whatever government does in the way of taxes and regulations has absolutely no bearing on the decisions of American families or American businesses, small and large. We know that's not true. We know that our economy is a dynamic entity. It responds to incentives and disincentives. And I have to tell you, we have to begin to embrace those things that have always created growth and opportunity. And also, don't forget, Larry, we also have to say no to a national energy tax, and we have to say no to this massive new middle-class tax increase in the Democrat health care bill.
I got to get out, but I want to say I am thrilled to hear you with a supply-side component of your message, because when I spoke to the group Saturday, Americans for Prosperity, I said, look, you haven't heard this supply-side argument, the Laffer argument, and so forth in a long time. I want to give it to you. I mean, I think that's been this has to be part of the fix to this economy.
Absolutely.
Growth is so vitally important, getting that unemployment rate down, creating jobs, all that. We need tax incentives to do it, not class warfare, Mike Pence. And the GOP has just got to grasp that message. It's two-pronged. It's spending and borrowing, yes, but it's supply-side tax cuts. The Democrats will never go there.
You better believe it, Larry.
All right, Mike Pence, you're the best of the best. Thanks for giving your time. I know you're real busy in the session.